If you love a tasty eggnog, but are tired of the same old, then this episode's just for you. Because today, we're gonna be making 3 eggnog recipes that will flip the formula on its head and leave you thirsty for more. Welcome to Cocktail Limelight. I'm your host, Erick Castro, and today we're gonna be exploring one of my favorite categories in all of cocktails, and that's the eggnog. If you're anything like me, then you love the decadent, creamy flavor that you can only get from an eggnog. However, the bummer is that folks will only really drink them a couple months out of the year, which means that by the end of those 2 months, oftentimes you're pretty much burnt out on the flavor as so many eggnogs go to the same source for flavors: cinnamon, nutmeg, etc. However, you're gonna find that these 3 eggnogs we're making today veer far off the course of traditional Christmas flavors, and hopefully can reinvigorate your love for the creamy deliciousness of an eggnog. The first eggnog that we're gonna be making is for all of you NOG-RONI lovers out there, as it pairs the creamy deliciousness of an eggnog, but with the bitterness of a NOG-RONI. And instead of going with the traditional spirits of an eggnog, like cognac or rum, instead, we're diving into the botanical deliciousness of gin. And the result is a juniper accented eggnog that combines all the deliciousness of a white NOG-RONI within the context of a creamy and delicious eggnog. And on paper, it looks like it shouldn't work, but on the palate, it absolutely does. And if you want to know how dumb I can be sometimes, I actually did a guest bartending shift in San Francisco around the holidays about 3 years ago, and I was silly enough to put this on the menu because I wanted to add a little bit of variety, and honestly, I was thinking many people wouldn't order it. And it ended up being the most popular drink of the night, and the entire night, I spent my shift doing nothing but cleaning cream and egg off of my tins. But I don't really regret it because in all honesty, I'm very proud of this drink, and I was happy to see that it resonated with so many people. And since the cocktail is a combination of an eggnog and a white NOG-RONI, of course, I had to aptly name the drink the White NOG-RONI. And while the name itself might be silly, the drink is anything but. So let's go ahead and make one. First, we start out with 3/4 ounce simple syrup, followed up with 3/4 ounce cream, as well as 1/2 ounce of Blanc Vermouth, 1/2 ounce of Suze, and 1 ounce of London dry gin. And it would be an eggnog without an egg, so let's go ahead and add that to our tin. Now that we have all the ingredients in our tin, we're gonna give it a dry shake to make sure the drink gets properly aerated. And now that the drink's nice and aerated from the dry shake, I'm gonna add some ice cubes and give it a good old-fashioned, vigorous shake. Now we're gonna go ahead and strain this cocktail into a chilled coupe and garnish it with a little bit of grated chocolate. Now there you have it, folks, the White NOG-RONI, an interplay of creamy deliciousness along with playful botanicals. Cheers. Now the next eggnog that we're gonna be making is called the SNOOP NOGGY Nog, which is a very cheeky name if I'm being honest, but you know what? I think it communicates just how playful the cocktail is. The cocktail combines Italian aperitivo and fits it within the context of a sessionable low ABV nog. And not only that, but it's extremely easy to drink and combines the flavors of grapefruit along with a little bit of vanilla. Now let's make one. First, we start out with 3/4 ounce vanilla syrup. Next, we're gonna add 3/4 ounce of heavy cream, as well as 1 ounce of Blanc Vermouth, followed up with 1 ounce of Aperol. And just as before, we're gonna be adding 1 whole egg. Now it's time for a dry shake. Now let's add some ice and shake it one more time. Now let's get that strained into a chilled coupe. before we garnish it with an orange slice. And there you have it, folks, the SNOOP NOGGY Nog. A little bit of egg mixed with some delicious Italian aperitivo. Cheers. Or as our friend Snoop Dogg would say, ooh-wee. Now y'all already know how I feel about eggnog. I f***ing love it, and it drives me crazy that people don't drink it all year long. Because you see, I'm a staunch advocate of year-round nog. If something's delicious, why limit it to just 2 months out of the year? But fortunately, this aspect can be remedied on cocktail menus by just leaving the word nog off altogether, or even refer to the drink as something else, which is what I did for this next cocktail, which combines floral deliciousness with that creamy texture that we all love from nog. It's called the Golden Ticket, and it's a nog that works all year long. To make one, first we start out with a 1/2 ounce of simple syrup, 3/4 ounce heavy cream, followed up with 3/4 ounce Saint Germain, and 1 ounce of white rum. Whereas in the first two drinks, we use the entire egg, in this one, we're only gonna use the yolk, hence the name. Now it's time to dry shake it and get it frothy and aerated. Ooh, that caffeine's kicking in, baby. Woohoo! I'm all jacked up on caffeine and Sudafed. Now it's time to add some ice and give it a good vigorous shake. So now let's go ahead and strain this into a chilled coupe before garnishing it with a touch of freshly grated nutmeg. And there you have it, folks, the Golden Ticket, a tasty and delectable cocktail that's perfect all year round. Cheers. If I close my eyes and take a sip, it's almost like I'm standing in the elderflower fields of France. And there you have it, folks. 3 eggnog variations that are perfect when you're craving something creamy and delicious, but aren't necessarily in the mood for holiday flavors. Not that there's anything wrong with those, but I always feel like it's nice to switch it up, and I feel like a lot of you out there might agree. And I hope you enjoyed all 3 of these recipes and that they helped answer that age-old question, which came first, the chicken or the eggnog? But are there any other overlooked cocktail categories out there? If so, leave them in the comments below, and who knows, maybe it'll be featured in a future episode of Cocktail Limelight. And with that said, don't forget to muddle that like and subscribe button. And if you'd like to dive deeper into the world of craft cocktails, be sure to check out the Bartender at Large podcast, which I host on iTunes, Spotify, and anywhere else where quality podcasts are found. Thank y'all so much for watching, and we'll see you again next week.